My beard has grown quite a bit, but why bother going to a barber? Easy peasy. Is anyone there? Anybody there?
Huh?
Come here quickly!
What happened?
The sun rays are falling right on my face. Could you please place a cloth in between? Easy peasy.
What? So this is the reason you were shouting? Huh?
I have seen so many lazy bones, but no one like him, that's for sure. Come on, everyone, let's go back.
Such a lazy head.
Why don't you lend your legs to Mr. Udanka and borrow some money against it? Because these legs are of no use to you anyway. I'm going to serve lunch for us. If you feel like getting up, come and eat some. I have served the food. Do you want to eat it or not?
When you've cooked with so much love, how can I not eat this? Easy peasy. It was delicious.
Now, are you really going to sleep all day or get up and bring some water from the well?
Do you have any idea how hot and humid it is outside? All the wells are completely dry. Easy peasy.
Oh, really? And you're so sure about the water in the wells while looking at the sky all day? What a talent. Anyway, forget about the well. At least, will you bring some water from the pond? Huh?
What did you say? From the pond, huh? Do you have any idea how far the pond is from here? Easy peasy.
Okay. Do whatever you want. Just bring me the water from somewhere. That's it.
You wanted me to bring water from anywhere, right? Here it is.
Oh God, your laziness has no limits.
Oh no, it's already sunset. Everyone must have arrived.
Are you feeling more energetic now? Tell me, where are you going? To meet those lazy friends of yours? You are almost like a sloth. And you have also made the villagers lazy like you.
Oh, really? Do you even know that being lazy is actually an art? How can you understand this? I'm leaving now. Easy peasy.
Hey, Bridge, it's you. Welcome, come in, sit down.
Oh, forget it. Who will make the unnecessary effort to sit down? Easy peasy.
Wow, now you're being really lazy. Is this what you call laziness? I don't even make my bed after I wake up in the morning. Since I have to sleep in it again at night, then why even bother?
I don't even take out extra plates to eat food. I simply eat from the same utensils the food is cooked in. So I don't have to bother bringing water from the well and washing the dishes. As easy as that. Huh?
But at least you walk to the well every day to bring water for cooking. And here I am avoiding the trek to the well for water by not bathing at all. Try to beat that.
Are you done boasting about your silly lazy habits? At least you people have wells at your houses. I am so lazy that even if my beard catches fire, I'll think 1,000 times before digging a well for water.
Wow, there is really no match for Bridge when it comes to laziness.
Fire! Run!
Save yourself! Please put down the fire! Run! Save yourself!
Somebody bring water!
It sounds like there's some chaos in the village.
Oh, just relax. There must be some juggler or a snake charmer passing through. Let's continue with our lazy talks. Easy peasy.
Oh no. Why is it suddenly so hot in here?
Hot, but I don't think so.
Fire! Oh no, the roof is on fire! Run! We should do something!
Hey, wait. Why are you running? You are getting worried for no reason. Just wait for a while. It will rain and everything will be all right.
Rains? Right now?
Why not? And even if it doesn't rain, the wind will blow in the opposite direction and put out the fire. You just wait and watch. Easy peasy.
We are lazy, but not that lazy. We gotta run to save our lives.
Run from here! Run!
Silly people. Go if you want to leave. I'll take a nap till then. Fire! My beard is on fire! Save me! Somebody save me! My beard is burning! Someone help! Please,
Now,
please
your
put it
beard
out.
has caught fire.
Pour some
It's
water.
time for you to consider digging that well. Easy peasy.
No, not easy peasy. Hurry up! Quick, somebody please
But
bring
the
me water
pond
from
is
the
too
pond.
far away from here. I think we should wait for the rains. Yeah.
How can you people be so lazy? The fire is getting out of control and you want to wait for the rain and wind? Easy peasy. Somebody help me. Oh, I'm safe now. The fire in my beard is gone. Huh? You all?
Yes, all of us. If we waited for you lazy bones to act, the entire village would have burned to ashes. That is why we had to put out the fire ourselves.
We are extremely sorry.
Where are you, dear? Are you listening?
Yes, dear. Tell me.
What's this? Where did your beard go?
It's not just the beard. My laziness is gone too.
Once upon a time, in King Vidyadhar's royal court, an artist came to showcase his art.
Is there anyone here who can accept my challenge and take out this lion from the cage without opening it?
Oh, so you're challenging the intelligence of people of Vijayanagar?
And that too in front of our king. King Vidyadhar was proud of his people and his own intelligence. He quickly identified the reality of the lion, which was made of facts.
Your wax lion is already out of the cage. This is Vijayanagar. Remember, you can't just trick my people and get away with it. Now my people will decide your fate.
So, artist, hope you got your answer.
He doesn't deserve an answer, but punishment.
Yes, he deserves a punishment.
He got what he deserved.
Yes, you are right.
Who put you in this state, my child?
It's done by King Vidyadhar, Guruji. He is too proud of his people and his intelligence. Otherwise, no king would insult an artist like he did, Guruji.
Raja Vidyadhar is my student. But it seems to me that he needs to be taught again. Umesh, Harish, Manish.
Guruji called his 3 favorite disciples to break the king's ego.
As you wish, Guruji. We'll do as you instructed.
All 3 of them disguised themselves and set out to follow their guru's orders. And Harish, he reached a pan shop.
Sir, how much do these betel leaves cost?
200 leaves for 10 coins. They all are fresh. How many do you want?
Keep these 10 coins and just give me 25 leaves for now. Give the rest of the 175 leaves to my colleague when he comes with a letter.
Here. Ah.
We have beautiful shawls for you. Tell me, sir, which one would you like to buy?
I would like to buy that shawl.
You have selected one of the best shawls in the shop, sir. You have a keen eye. It's just for 200.
Keep these 25 coins. You can take the rest of the 175 from the beetle shop owner. You can send anyone to collect it from him. Just give him my letter and he will give it to you.
The boy went to pan shop owner. He looked at the letter and said,
Yes, that man came here a few minutes ago. Let me finish my lunch, then you come and collect them. I will count and keep 175 of them, okay?
The boy came back and informed the owner. Thinking that he would definitely receive the money, the owner gave the shawl to Harish. But when the boy and the owner reached the pan shop to collect the money, he handed over the betel leaves to them instead of the coins.
Huh? What should I do with this?
I don't care. Eat or sell them, it's up to you.
What? But I have come here to collect my coins.
Which coins you are talking about? That man asked me to give him remaining betel leaves, and which I did.
Now, both the shop owners began to fight over the betel leaves and the coins. The matter reached the royal court of the king. After listening to their story, the king realized immediately that someone had not just fooled them, but also raised a question about his people and his own intelligence. He quickly passed an order.
Whoever has tricked our innocent merchants should be immediately arrested and put in jail. That's my order.
King's soldiers started searching for Harish.
Let's search over there.
Now it was Guruji's next disciple, Manish's turn. The shop that Manish went to was not just any such shop. It was the shop of the king's artisan, where there were wood and iron items made by him.
Are you the royal artisan?
The artisan thought Manish was a wealthy man, so he quickly rushed to him.
Come in, sir. I have created a wonderful device just for people like you. If you catch a thief, you can make him wear this pillory and take him to jail. The thief will never be able to escape.
Are you joking with me, sir? How can this wooden device stop a thief who can break even the iron chains?
I am a royal artisan, sir, and I can prove its effectiveness to you. Just lock the device, sir, and check its strength.
Manish was eagerly waiting for this moment. After the artisan requested it, he locked the device quickly and ran away while taking the key, leaving the artisan stranded. The moment King heard this news, he got angry and furious.
I can't take it anymore. Someone is intentionally making fool out of my people and making fun of me. I will catch him myself.
The king set out in disguise. As he was searching around, he saw a man sitting with a basket of mangoes in a deserted place outside the city's gate. He was none other than the master's third disciple, Umesh.
Why has he set up his shop at the gate of the city? Is he the one who is fooling my people? I have to check. Brother, how much for mangoes?
I'm not sitting here to sell mangoes.
Then?
Are you new over here? Are you unaware there is a group of thugs who are active in the village who are fooling innocent people over here? Even our king is troubled by them.
Yes, that is true.
The leader of that group is going to take this route. I will catch him and hand him over to the king.
Do you know their leader?
Oh, yes, of course. He's strong and tall. In fact, very tall. You will get scared of him after seeing him. Come on now, please leave from here.
Brother, I have also come here to see him. I should hide somewhere. Oh. Oh.
If you keep doing this, I will never be able to catch him.
Okay.
Okay, you do one thing. You just hide in this mango sack and be silent. Come on, go fast.
The king agreed with Umesh and hid himself in the sack. And Umesh quickly tied the sack. The king waited for some time. But after it was too late, he started shouting.
Open this! Is anyone out there? Get me out of here!
But there was no one to listen to him except the bull. As soon as the soldiers opened the sack, they saw that the king was inside it.
Where is that leader?
The next day, Vidyadhar was shocked to see his Guruji with his disciples and the same artist in the royal court.
Guruji, he's the same person
Who tied you inside the sack? Yes, these are my students who fooled you and those 3 merchants of yours. And they just did it because I asked them to do it. And this act was necessary just to break your pride, Vidyadhar, so that you never insult an artist again in the pride of your knowledge.
I have understood it. Please forgive me, Guruji.
Vidyadhar learned his lesson and bid farewell to the artist and disciples with gifts. In Vijayanagar, there was a pond near the main road where every traveler used to stop and take rest.
My stone will bounce the most number of times in the water and go the farthest too.
Yes, it will, but not as far as my stone. Yay!
What kind of rock is this?
Huh? There is something written on it.
Children! What are you doing near the pond? Huh? Go back to your home!
Uncle, we are not fooling around. We are actually trying to understand what this image imprinted on the rock means.
Image? Get back! Get back!
It looks like a donkey to me.
A stick and a broken pot. I don't understand what this could mean.
This is a donkey and this is a stick.
I need to rethink this with a different perspective. What is this? Yes, I should ask the sage in the ashram.
Guruji has gone on a pilgrimage.
What? Guruji is not there? So let us ask the disciple then. Can you come with us, Mr. Vedpal? We are in need of help.
This is a good opportunity to get my work done from the villagers. But the entire work of the ashram is still pending. Who will do it?
It's okay. We'll finish your work.
Yes, you are right. Let us finish his work quickly.
In the absence of Guruji, the villagers called the disciple Vedpal to solve the mystery of the painting on the rock. Vedpal, who believed himself to be very clever, started to explain the significance of the drawing on that rock to the innocent villagers who were oblivious.
This is very difficult to understand, but not for me. Do you see this stick? This is not an ordinary stick, but it's a magical stick. And this man...
Man? Where do you see a man?
The one who is holding the stick.
Well, but sir, are you sure about it? Because it doesn't look like someone is holding the stick.
Well, if you are so intelligent, then why don't you figure it out yourself? I am leaving.
Wait. You are the most knowledgeable person here. Please tell us.
Okay, let me tell you. This person who is holding the magical stick in his hand is not an ordinary man, but the great hero of Vijayanagar himself, who sacrificed his life while protecting Vijayanagar years ago. I can foresee that if any traveler passing by here does not stop here and pray to him, then they will face tremendous loss, just like that broken pot, and they will turn into donkeys.
We all know that stones don't speak for themselves. So people immediately believed Vedpal's words. The people of the village made Vedpal the priest of that stone, where he used to chant the wrong mantras to fool people.
Bathe this stone with milk.
Yes, I'm doing it.
Leave it now and give me this.
Okay.
This continued until the Guruji of the ashram returned from the pilgrimage after a few months.
My dear animals, how did the condition of my ashram become like this? Where is Vedpal? Vedpal! Huh? Why are they pointing there? And what kind of crowd is there? Huh? What's this?
Guruji!
What are you doing? Someone stop him! We will not let this happen! We will not allow our place of worship to be destroyed!
Is that so? Huh?
What? It's shining!
What's this?
What is this?
Treasure?
The drawing on the stone indicated that we would get the treasure if we broke the stone with an iron rod. And anyone who did not do so would be a donkey.
But we were told that...
If you continue to blindly trust anyone's words without utilizing your mind, you will remain a fool like this.
Forgive me, Guruji.
This treasure belongs to this village. Therefore, it will be used to repair this road so that travelers going to the town do not face any inconvenience.
The sweetest bananas and juiciest mangoes in the village came from Mohan's garden.
The harvest has been very good this spring, Basanti. This time, we can get a huge profit by selling them in the big market of Vijayanagar. What a delightful smell. Give me 2 dozen.
Give me 1 dozen mangoes.
Give me 1 kg.
Give me 2 kgs.
Someone bought 1 kg of mangoes, someone bought 2, and some bought bananas. And then there was such an aroma that even Mohan could not stop himself.
It's mine!
What's in it, brother?
Buy some.
So, is it eatable? Can you give me a little?
If I give it to you, then what would I eat?
In return for 6 bananas and mangoes, Mohan took the payasam from the man.
Do you have more?
If you want more, why don't you cook it at home?
What's the recipe?
After taking a lot of mangoes and bananas from Mohan, the man shared the recipe for payasam.
Basanti! Huh? Basanti! Oh, Basanti!
Huh? Why are you so happy? It looks like you have made a very good profit.
Forget the profit. Today, I have savored something that has lifted my spirits, made my heart happy, and my soul truly satisfied. Wait, let me show you. Here I put the sugar, a little ghee,
Huh?
and some dry fruits. And the payasam is ready.
But the pot is empty.
But my mind is not empty, Basanti. I have brought all the ingredients to prepare the payasam. Just take these and start preparing.
But we don't have any wood.
I'll bring it quickly. A bear! Save me! Where did this bear come from? I made a mistake! Spare me! Not today, Mr. Bear, because today is my turn to eat.
Will you eat me?
No, Mr. Bear. I was talking about the payasam. This is entirely my fault. If I had not thought about eating payasam and not come to the jungle to gather wood, I wouldn't have slept. The wood wouldn't have fallen on you. It seems like my dream of having payasam will remain just a dream.
Payasam? What's this payasam?
Payasam? The taste of payasam? Ah! Wow. The aroma of payasam? Wow! Mwah! If you haven't eaten payasam yet, then you haven't eaten anything good.
And it turned out the talking bear was also fond of eating.
I also want to eat payasam. Will you feed me too?
But I'll need some more wood for that.
You only concentrate on the payasam. 100, 500 logs. I'll bring you as much wood as you want.
Okay. 500 logs would be enough. I can use them for the entire month.
So I will.
What? A bear? People invite their friends and relatives, and you invited a bear?
Oh no, poor Basanti. What could she do? She started making payasam for the guest. The payasam was ready. Now they were waiting for the guest.
I can smell the aroma from here, and I can't resist. What say, Basanti? Should we taste a little bit?
Why not? But only a little bit.
As soon as the lid was lifted, the aroma of the payasam spread. And it became difficult for both of them to wait. They began tasting with a spoon, then moved on to a bowl, and then to a plate. And eventually, they couldn't resist and started eating directly from the payasam pot.
Oh no, we ate all the payasam. What should we do now?
Wondering how the bear would ever know the taste of payasam, they decided to mix the leftover rice with adulterated milk. Whatever it turned out to be, it was now ready. Both of them thought that if they wouldn't be home, how could it possibly matter whether the bear liked it or not?
Payasam.
Driven by the temptation of payasam, the poor bear arrived hungry and immediately began to eat. But how much could he possibly relish the payasam, made with the adulterated milk and a few grains of rice, and without any dry fruits?
Where will you escape? I will not leave you. After all the praise for payasam, what have you fed me? The day I'll find you, I'll teach you a lesson.
Oh no, our house!
If you like this video, subscribe to our channel Murthy Media.